Yeah, so I've had this Garmin Instinct 2 for about 9 months now. It's since been surpassed by the Garmin Instinct 3, but I think quite a few people might still be interested in the watch. It is cheaper, so I live in the UK and it's about £220 compared to £380 for the Instinct 3. And it's still got a liquid crystal display, which means the battery life's still very good. So that's how I've used it, and it lasts about a month if you don't use the GPS. I tend to use the GPS about 4 or 5 hours a week, and I'd say it lasts about 2 weeks with that. So it's still a very, very good battery life. You can see like it kind of looks a bit like a sort of G-Shock. So it's fairly basic. It doesn't look as that premium for a relatively expensive smartwatch. Just going down some of the features. This is the morning display. This shows the training radius, which I will explain later. This shows your sleep, so you can see I didn't sleep as long as I should. Got that rating. And then there's HRV status, don't know what that is, and weather forecast, and get out there. So I'll show you just some of the sort of features out there and how it works in terms of recording for GPS, and just say what things I've been using it for. Yeah, to set the clock for a run, you do this button, so it's this one. Oops. Then do run. That's the suggested training run, and that's because I've got there. And I press that again, so there, and that's how it starts. So that's like a suggested thing, and then it will record it on the GPS, and you can see your statistics afterwards. So yeah, so it's not too many steps, but it does take a bit of time to get used to it. Particularly there's a program on, and then you can see below it will record the pace you run, or walking in my case, and the distance you got and how long you've taken. So yeah, so it records your pace, and then once you end the session or pause the session, at the end it uploads it as a GPS, and that syncs to Strava, which is definitely something that's pretty good. So it's my first smartwatch that I've worn. I found it reasonably comfortable. Obviously, it was I used to wear a watch when I was young, but it's the first time I've really worn anything on my wrist for a while. But yeah, no, it's quite good. The things I find useful, and it's I do like the step counter, which is better. And they've got quite a nice feature where you feature kind of walks that you've done, so like you'll count the number of steps you've done and put against a long walk. I'm doing the Appalachian Trail at the moment, which should take around 6 months or so, and they've got a similar thing for climbing mountains on the steps, which is also quite nice. It also requires so it syncs with your phone, so all like the best interface. Obviously there is a GUI on the screen. Obviously it doesn't give you that much information. Obviously you get much more detailed on the app and on Strava. And I might show you some of that later. So it kind of syncs with your phone, so you get your text messages when you've got your phone. One thing I would quite like on it would be if it could like hold audiobooks from. So I'm running at the moment, and if I want to listen to an audiobook or run, I need to bring my phone with me. So obviously it would, I imagine, possibly on a more modern smartwatch, you can take it with you. The watch already. Yeah, overall I've enjoyed running. I mean, as I say, you get quite detailed analyticals to run. It does have training suggestions. I can't say they've improved my running particularly. I think with running it's like just volume really has a lot more. It's a lot more about putting in just volume of training than with other sports. But that's it's also got like a sleep feature, which I quite like as well. So it has quite good things on your sleep. So one of the things, like, it'll tell you like you tend to go into a deep sleep and then how much REM, and you can see when you've had a bad night's sleep as well. You also see like the effects, like if you've been drinking, you tend not to have the deep sleep, so you tend to go to bed quickly but not really have the deep sleep, and it gives you like a summary in that, which I also think is a really good feature. There are lots of other sports. As I say, I've only used it for running. I don't tend to do much except running. You can use it in the gym. I do go to the gym sometimes, but I didn't find those very useful, but I guess maybe other people do. But overall, yeah, it's still a good choice. I mean, I imagine I'll replace it with a different one eventually, but as I say, it's a pretty tough thing, and obviously the long battery life is a big plus. As I did, I remember I had a couple of weeks, I did like a marathon and sort of a 30 kilometer walk in the Peak District, and it did very well with those things, and it was nice to have the details, nice to share it on Strava. Obviously it has a social element too. So yeah, it's a good watch.